everybody, it's a Dior day today. I have the Dior Dream on. This is number 833. So this was part of the spring collection. Yeah, as you might know, there was like 16 quints, not really, but there was quite a few. And they all had this sort of pink, maybe coral color story. We had Mimi Rose. No, was it Mimi Rose? I think it was Mimi Rose. We had pink organza, and then we had peach popaline or something like that. Basically pink and peach and, you know, coral color stories. Today's Dior Dream looks like this. And this is the most pigmented of all of the quads that came out for spring. And honestly, it's my favorite. It's my favorite one. I actually really like this one. If I was gonna pick up any of them, I would pick up this one. However, I would say that the formula is still not great. And I'll go into the details about this particular quint and what I like about it and what I don't and all that good stuff in just a second. But first I want to mention what I do have on my face. So this is all Dior except for the foundation. The foundation is the new Makeup Forever HD Skin Hydro Glow foundation. And yes, I did just try the Louboutin foundation. Now that foundation is a matte foundation, and I will be doing a side-by-side with Prada. So you'll see the Prada on this side and the Louboutin on the other side, and I'm doing some comparisons with other products as well. That's coming. But this, the reason I picked it up is I was hearing really good things about it being made for, again, more mature skin. You know how much I love that term, but and drier skin. So I wanted to try it out, and it is really excellent. I love the Makeup Forever foundations. The Makeup Forever 24-hour, whatever that foundation, I forget the actual name. I'll make sure it's down below. I've talked about that many, many times. That's really one of my favorite, and before the product came out, matte foundations. And when I'm on like doing conferences and I have like, you know, really long days, 18-hour days, that is the foundation that I tended to use because it lasted all day. This foundation, I don't know if it'll last like that one, but the glow in this is really nice. It's very comfortable on. It's undetectable as far as I can tell. Now, the shade I bought was 1N00. In the other HD, in the long matte whatever formula, I do have a different formula. I do have a different shade. I think it's 1R, it's like 02, it's kind of R. Anyway, I'll make sure it's down below. I tried it out in a Sephora, and it does match my skin, but I actually like this shade better. I think it's a better match for me. So I might, if I decided to get that, if I decide to get that matte formula again, I've used actually quite a bit of it, then maybe I'll get it in the shade. On this box, it says 24-hour glow, blurring and hydration, suitable for normal, dry, very dry, and mature skin. So I think it's interesting that it says that. It says 86% skincare-based formula, hydrates, plumps, and boosts your skin immediately and over time. Lightweight texture syncs with your skin for a blur effect and even complexion in an ultra-natural radiant finish. Buildable medium coverage, offers undetectable and long wear result. 24-hour glow and blurring hydration. Well, I'm going to be testing this out because I am going to be going on a trip soon. I'm not going to tell you exactly where I'm going just yet, but one of my, actually probably my best friend, somebody who I have known for how long? More than half my life now. We met in college, is having her 50th birthday. So I am headed out for her 50th birthday celebrations. And, you know, I'm trying to plan out what I'm bringing with me because it is a drier climate. I will say that it is a drier climate that I'm going to, and a warmer one. So I'll let you know what I pack for that trip. I'll, you know, do some Instagram shots and stuff, what I pack for that trip. And if I do any shopping, I will certainly do a video on it. I plan to do some shopping, but you know, it's a girls trip. There's like 4 of us. You know, we're going to do a spa day. We're going to do some other stuff. So anyway, but yeah, I'm going to try this foundation out. So far, so good. I really, really like it. So fingers crossed that it actually works for me. So I wanted to mention that. And then the other thing, I have the Copper Maxiizer from Dior on my lips. This came out for spring. Chef's kiss. Beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely love it. And of course, the Forever Glow. These are the Maximizers, the new Maximizer products that just came out. I have had these actually for a couple of months, and I put up my video with the, my brain, with the swatches that I had on Patreon for a while. And I did film me using these on my skin today. So we'll talk about those before we go into the quint. These, film go up. So the pink one, it is pink. That is the name. I put it on the highlights of my face. It says Spectacular Highlighter Long Wear Hydration. It is a beautiful illuminator. It's not sparkly or glittery or anything like that. It just offers a great illumination. I actually am going to take this with me as well because I really like the look of it. It's very natural for a highlighter, actually, and I think it's going to be really nice for frankly a drier climate because my skin does get drier the drier it is out. And then the bronze shade. Now, when I did my video where I did all I compared it to the Chanel primers, I used the bronze on my face and I was like, wow, that's really deep. And it is. However, when you see in this video, I put it on my face and I share it out on my face, it actually looks great. It looks really good. And it's because of the nature of the product. If you can see, like now it looks like on my face, it just blends in beautifully and it sinks in. What I would say though, if you are a deeper skin tone, I'm not sure this is going to be enough for you if you're really looking for a bronze. I think if you're up to like a medium skin tone, yes, it'll give you that beautiful luminescent bronzy shade. But if you're a deeper skin tone, I think it's still going to look kind of light. So that would be the thing that I would say about this, but it looks beautiful on. So this is also going with me on my trip because I feel like it'll be fun to try it, and I really like the products. So I am going to be buying the white, which is called Pearly. I haven't decided if I'm going to buy the product that's basically a primer that looks like the Chanel. It's basically Flawless Filter from Charlotte Tilbury, who was really, I think, the first to do something like that. I don't know that I'm going to do that because, to be honest, I love the Chanel primer so much, especially the Frosty White. I just don't feel like I'm going to replace it with the Dior. So I am going to buy the Pearly. I am going to get that. And I will get the pink toned bronzer when it's available in the US. My understanding is it's only available in the UK right now. So, but I will have the Pearly, and I'll certainly compare it for you to like other products that I have. Okay, so let's get into the eyeshadow. So first of all, again, this is the most pigmented of all the spring quints. And actually, this was the one that I think received the least amount of attention. And to be honest with you, I wouldn't have even noticed this was on there, except for the fact that I was looking, and I do this often, at various sites to see what's new. Like, I'll just go on Nordstrom, especially if I can't like sleep late at night or something, and I'll be like, what's new in beauty? And sometimes things will pop up that I didn't expect or I didn't know were going to be there. That's kind of what happened here with Dior. I was just looking like to see what was new. I basically scroll because it doesn't always tell you. It doesn't always say new, but then when you click on the product, you'll see a little new thing, and I'm like, they tried to sneak it by. So that way I can tell you guys ahead of time. But yeah, I didn't even know this was coming. So I wasn't necessarily looking for it. I wasn't just like excited about it. But it is my favorite. I actually like this color story much more than all the others. Part of that is because of the shades that are in here. So let's have the swatches go up. Now they're on my hand. And what you'll notice is, like I said, it's much more pigmented than the other ones. But the shade that's the deepest is like a brown, purple, reddish. It's interesting. It's an interesting shade. And the pink shade, which is all the way towards my thumb, that pink shade is, yes, it is pink, but it's a corally pink. So it's not too, like, for me, it's not offensive. The lighter shades, the middle shade and the golden shade are obviously, you know, more lightly, they're not that saturated. They're light shades. They're meant for either someone who wants very light shade all over their eye, or brow and inner corner, and then the orange shade. Now this is what disappoints me. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and let's roll the footage. So first I take that corally pink shade and I put that in the crease. Now I keep this as a crease shade, a transition shade, pretty much by itself. And I blow that out and keep it pretty diffused. And I do kind of go overboard with that shade a little bit because I want to see if it really is pink or coral or, you know, and like I said, it's more of a coral shade and I actually think it's nice, especially for spring. I think it'll be quite beautiful. By the way, I am in natural light today. I just want everyone to know that. It's the weekend, so it is natural light. So you can, this is a natural light on my face. Just letting you know. So yeah, so I have that shade in my, my crease. Then I take the very light gold shade, which is like the upper, this one right here. We'll come back from the film for a sec. This one here. And I put that very, very loosely in the brow area. So like I use a super fluffy brush. It's a super soft gray squirrel brush. Doesn't pick up a lot of pigment, just to keep it very, very light. Then I take the middle shade and put that all over my eye. That shade is a very peachy shade. It's very light, but it's really nice. It's like a really good neutral to warm leaning peach. And I really like it for, you know, something that's really light. In fact, that's a shade that I would use all over my lid and just like keep it, just that and some mascara for the spring. I think it's nice. It's a nice touch. Then I take the deep shade and like really go into the outer corner, into the crease, lower lash line, the gamut. Now I did clean it up after this because you'll notice at first it makes me look a little, because it does have a little bit of reddish to it. Not a lot, but a little. So you have to be careful with it under the eye if you're very, very pale like I am. But I did clean that up and actually it looks fine on the lower lash line as long as you don't blow it out too much. If you blow it out too much, at least on someone as pale as myself, it doesn't kind of look like you might have an infection in your eye. So that all looked great. And I was like happy with it and I love the look. And then I took the orange shade for last because I was like, oh, this is going to be beautiful. I love that orange shade. You know, it's just, the problem is when you take the orange shade, when I first tried it, it didn't really do anything. And I was just like, oh. And so then I scratched the shade, frankly, with the base of one of my brushes, one of my inexpensive brushes, don't panic, to like scratch the surface of the shade. And once I scratched the surface of the shade, I took my finger and put it on the eye. And that, you know, that paid off. But the thing is, that annoys me. And here's why. Like, again, we're talking about Dior. The Dior can do some beautiful, amazing things. I really like these highlighters, by the way. I think they're really good. And I love the bronze on the pink. I really like the Maxiizers that they've come out with. Like, they've done some really good things. So I don't understand why they took their amazing, best eyeshadow formula of my life and turned it into this. Wasn't the best formula of my, I'm exaggerating a little bit here, but you get my point. Like, now, this formula is not bad. It isn't. And it actually looks, if you look on, you know, the eye look that I came up with, it's actually very pretty and I like this. But still, the formula is not like the old formula. I like the old formula so much more. So I'm just like, why? Why? All right, so I scratched the orange, and when I scratched the orange, and when I scratched, I sort of took like the cover off, the first layer, top layer of the orange off. And now you get a really pretty shade. Like, look, if you look at that, it is really nice. This is really, really pretty. And so now that I've taken that off, that I've scratched the top of the eyeshadow, I feel like, you know, I'll get more payoff. But my thing is, again, why? Why should I have to scratch the top part of my eyeshadow after I've spent whatever I've spent on this, you know, this quint? So yes, I do think it's really pretty. If you're gonna pick up, my lashes are sticking to each other. If you're gonna pick up a quint from the spring summer collection from Dior, I would recommend Dior Dream. I really like this color story. Again, I like it because it's warmer. It's got that orangey, corally shades in it. I really like this one. I think it's much more pigmented, all those things. So if I was gonna pick one up, this is the one I would buy. It's my favorite of all the spring quints that came out. But again, just, you know, those of you who've watched me, you know me, I am sometimes too honest, if that's a thing. I wouldn't pick up any of them. I would pick up the new highlighters. I think they're really good. I like them. I haven't had them enough to be like, yes, absolutely, but I really do. I think they're good products. The Maximizers, the lip Maximizers, I think they're excellent. The new lipsticks, they have been reformulated. These are really good. Really like those. The Attic lipsticks, love them. And I love the cases. I think they're fun. Yes, it's Dior's way of making more money, sure. But I still love them. They're fun. Like, look, I can recognize that something is, quote, a money grab and still enjoy buying it. This is not a situation like Chanel that just keeps raising their prices because, frankly, they are trying to get rid of the customer that's in the middle. They want to do it. They're doing it on purpose. Chanel has a strategy, a business strategy, where they're basically like, we only want the people who can drop 10 grand like that and not worry about it. That's what Chanel's doing with their bags. Let's be honest. That's not what I'm saying here. I recognize that the cases for the Attic lipsticks are a money grab. They're just fabric and cases. It's not something you technically use. So yeah, I get it, but they're beautifully done. And the designs in my thought process are worth it. I think they do a great job. I love seeing them. I get enjoyment out of having it in my purse, taking it out, and taking it out of its case and putting it on my lips. So I'm fine with that. But I'm also not, and I think we all feel this way. We're also not stupid. Like, we know. So that's what I say to the brands. Like, hey, if you're honest about things, people will be like, oh, okay, that's fair. Like, it's like stars who suddenly dropped 50 pounds and they're like, oh, it's because I'm eating better, instead of just being honest and saying, yes, I'm taking Ozempic. Again, like, if you're honest, we're all fine with it. We're just like, okay, just don't lie to us. So I don't know what Dior did with their eyeshadows, because obviously they can reformulate things and make good products, because I like the blushes, not all the blushes, but I mean, the point is they've been reformulated. They work fine. Most of them. The new lipsticks are great. I know I'm going a little off on a tangent here, but it just annoys me because I don't get why you would do this as a brand when you had a formula that was working incredibly well, was beautiful, and I get it, the whole clean thing, I understand, but from what I know of the product that they created at the beginning of the pandemic, basically, the things that they took out, aloe and pine oil, I don't think anyone was complaining about those things that I'm aware of. So again, I don't get it, Dior. All right, so those are my thoughts. Those are my overthoughts about the Quint. The foundation, like I said, really am loving it. I am a glowy kind of girl. Like the Louboutin foundation is actually a great foundation. And I am testing it, but I will tell you, it is more matte. Like, it has more coverage, it is more matte. But I think it's really good for what it is. I tend not to wear as much matte foundation because my skin is dry. So just as a preference, I'm gonna like this more. But I really think this looks great on and is so comfortable. Like, that's the thing about, like, it doesn't really look like foundation. It just looks kind of like your skin's having a really good day. It went to the spa, and it got more sleep. So yeah, I really like this. And the highlighters by Dior, in the bronze and the pink, I think are great, especially for drier skin, because they're creams and they have a luminescence to them, but not a glitter. So I think they're really, really pretty. The lip maximizer, as you know, love, 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 love. So that's it. That's it, guys. I'm sorry I went off on a little rant there, but I just, as somebody who has been doing this now on YouTube for 3 years, wow, 3 years, I just feel like, I have tested so much makeup and I have tried so many things that if I can identify these things, then I know the brands do. Like, I know when they're creating this makeup, I know they're testing it out and being like, yeah, this doesn't work as well as the old one. Like, they can't be unaware of it. So, why? Anyway, so I'd love to hear if you picked up Dior Dream, because like I said, it kind of went under the radar. I think it's still there. Hope it's still there. If you're going to pick up the new highlighters, like I said, I'm going to pick up the Pearly. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the Peach. Let me know your thoughts. I'm definitely picking up the Pearly. So let me know your thoughts on the Peach. I don't know what I would use the Peach for, to be really honest. But anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Makeup Forever foundation, loving it. I will get the bronzer from Dior once it's available. And yeah. So I have a couple videos coming up where I'm going to do the comparison videos. I've got a fun video based on the New York fashion shows. Recently, if you're not aware, Fashion Week was in New York in February, and there were big beauty trends that I picked up, and so did others because I've been reading about them for 2024. So I'm going to do a video on that as well. So I hope you'll join me for all of those. So thanks so much for joining me today, guys. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you in another video really soon. Bye.